Behind me is 2016 Jeep Wrangler JK. I'm about to fix 4 common problems with the front end. In my last video, I put shocks and brakes all the way around, did rear wheel seals, and found out that these ball joints are pretty bad. So when you do the ball joints, there's a couple things you want to do at the same time, and let me show you what I got going on here. So this is everything I bought to save me thousands. Obviously here are the ball joints. These are pretty cool ball joints because you got these angled grease zerks. So you can get grease down in there. So these are greasable, and that's nice. So we will, and these are on the top because of the top. But the reviews, the only bad part of the reviews on these said that these grease zerks may suck. So I bought a whole box of grease zerks in case these zerks don't hold pressure, is what they said. And then as you're taking the front end apart, sometimes the boots on the ball joints will rip. So I bought an assortment of those. And then I got this V4 ball joint press. Over there is my old OTC kit that only has this part in it. It doesn't have any of this, so this should help quite a bit. But once you're in the front end, to even get to the ball joints, you've got to pull the axles off, the steering knuckle, the wheel bearing. So you might as well replace the wheel bearing. These are pretty cheap on Amazon. So Detroit Axle, good price. Just put wheel bearings on there. It's worth doing it. And then also, this does have a little play in the U-joints. So get Moog. Moog are a really good brand. So I got some Moog U-joints. And then to install the U-joints, I got the U-joint, this U-joint press. So this will remove them. And then I'm going to use this to reinstall them. So I'll show you all that. It's currently 9:55. So if in 1 hour I can have ball joints on one side done, then I will do these wheel seals. We'll worry about all the rest for now and see how far I can get in 1 hour. Okay, so we're 12 minutes in and I've wasted half of that on finding tools, maybe more. So pretty easy, 13 millimeter with a 15 wrench to get the brake caliper off, obviously 19 millimeter lug nuts, and then a 21 millimeter, and I just use my snap-on swivel for the bracket for the brake caliper. And then these are 13 millimeter 12 point. So they're pretty interesting, pretty sometimes hard to get to, like this one. So I could barely get to that. So I'll turn it a little bit and maybe I can get, I do have this swivel here from Matco, but it's a 3/8 drive. So we'll see, maybe I'll be able to get it. But you don't need to take the ABS sensor off because the new wheel bearing comes with it. So you gotta follow this line up, this wire up here, and then disconnect it up here. So it's not, they don't make it easy, even though this is a Jeep and 4-wheel drive, you're supposed to be able to take a component. So take the wire off first and then take these bolts out. I wish I could say there's an easy way to do that wire, but there's not. I had to loosen it up. There's obviously the connection up here and then back here, and then push it down back that way and finally get to it. So now I can take off my idiot bolts. But I don't know what size this one is yet, but I'll show you a little trick that I like to do for these cotter pins. I did already bend them over, but good thing they're loose. I like to just go back and forth on this bottom one, or at least one of them, and just break, let it break. Let it break. Twist it back and forth until it snaps off. There it goes, pretty easy. Snaps off, and then hopefully you can just pop this other one out. And there it goes, it's coming out. That's it, it's out. Not a big deal on these though. So it's bigger than a 24. If you can hammer a socket on there and just spin it off, twist those down, and because nobody cares, because you're going to be replacing it anyway. So not a big deal. Let me get the top one and then find out what size this is. So it's bigger than 24. We've got 21 over here, 22, an inch and an eighth. So let's start with the tie rod. I'm going to hit on this knuckle from this other side and should pop these down. Right out. Now with the ball joints. Oh man, look at that. So this one, you want the cup, so top one's gonna come out first so that I can feed the threaded rod up through here. This one's gonna go here with my cup there. And then if you don't have the other tools, this actually does work just fine to put this one on here. There, that'll fit there. And twist it down. What also sucks with this and Jeep is that you can't use an impact up here. That is unfortunate. You gotta use a big thing. You can give it a little bit. All right. As far as it'll go. Want the other. Over there. This is one I don't have my other kit. That came in very easy. Did not help us whatsoever. Because all it did was, continue pushing the ball joint out of the top. Well, that's the thing. This upper ball joint is not cooperating. We're currently at 10:51. So not quite the time I wanted to be at, but ball joint, I'm not supposed to do that. It doesn't matter. Sometimes you need to improvise. Look at that, it's even oblonged. Crazy. Now let's get this bottom one out. Can't tell. Oh, that hits the edge. So it does go over it. That's good. This is also an arm workout, just FYI. Just gonna be using this one just to start it. Reach, that's cool. Oh, well, that's the wrong way. There we are, removed. These ball joints, still not good. All right, now installation can be just as simple. but it may not be. Who knows? So first thing with your grease fitting, brake calipers over here. It's out, but it's still here. So I think pointing this towards the front and maybe back just a little bit so that you can get to it is key. Take the boot off so you don't damage it. Then you don't have to try to find a special one of those to fit. So I like to just use this one. Kind of comes with the kit. This fits on there nicely. You can start with this one. On the old one, you would have to do this and this, and it's quite a bit, but you're fine. We'll see if this works on this one. Look at that. So much nicer than the last one. The last job I did. My first problem, because it's thicker here, you can't get your grease zerk in. So I got to push it back out and turn it. All right, well, it's moved. And I'll tell you this, 0% of me wanted to do that. Also, I bunged the threads up a little bit, so I had to go grind them down. Because, of course I did. It's not worth doing if it's not worth doing twice. The lower, I believe, is going to be a 24, but we'll find out after I do the upper. Above and below the upper. What's it supposed to look like? Not that. That's ridiculous. It actually might have been easier to do it like this. Maybe? I don't know. Then I couldn't do this one, so whatever. One or the other. One or the other. Too big wheel. I'm going to start it like this because I don't know what a better way. This is gonna A little bit of persuasion with the air hammer. I'll straighten it out a bit, but let's try and get back to try a little this one. Well, look now, once it's straight on, it goes down nicely. Just gotta fight with it for ever and ever. Well, you know, those were all the pieces I used, most of them. Because why wouldn't? Well, it is 2 hours so far on this front end. So before I move on to the other side, I think I can save time on the other side. But before I take that apart and see how far we get, let's see how long this U-joint's going to take with this new tool. So first off, this is reverse threaded, left-hand threaded. So the first thing you need to do is get a pick or chisel or screwdriver, and then these little clips, these little C-clips go on this little groove, and this little groove is inside here. So let's pop those all off. And if you can't get them off, so here, hit this U-joint in, so hopefully it gives you a little bit of room there. And then get your screwdriver on it, or chisel or pick or whatever. And then hammer it out of there. There it goes. There's one that is broken. So, see if I can get behind the other side. There it goes. They come out pretty easy, so don't worry too much about it. There's that one, and then here, knock it in a little bit. Now I can only knock these out from one side because somebody put them in so that they rest against the other side. There's no getting a screwdriver behind it. Like this. One came out intact. Now this comes with gloves. It actually came with gloves, but I'm already beyond gloves. And it came with the socket, 13 millimeter 6-point socket. So, oh, so it is, I guess it's right-hand thread, push this. So how it works is it pushes, this pulls and this pushes against the other side of the yoke. we did pop this side out. Let's flip it over. Now this thing does not install, so we're going to use this to install. Do not lose your... Well, it's currently 12:23, so my goal of having one of those that side done in an hour, well, it's almost 2.5 hours later. So if I can cut an hour off of this side, or a little more, hour and a half, then I'll attempt the front differential and wheel seals. If not, then yeah, it's just going to save it. Maybe flushing the front end will give me enough, maybe thicken up that oil and it won't leak. I don't know, but All right, well, it is 2:30. This other U-joint had one of the ends was stuck and became a whole thing. So I'm not going to be able to get to pull the front diff out, but I do have one more component. This Jeep is kind of squirrely, just a little bit. So I have what is this one? I have a memory problem. That's what I have. But this is the dampener cylinder, and I'm going to replace it. This is also a rough country, but you're supposed to move that. Quarters of an inch. This one's a little shorter than the other one. That's why they want you to go 3/4 of an inch. I went probably an eighth more, 16th. Alright, well, so far we're looking pretty good. The last thing is going to be to drain this front axle and then refill it and just worry about our problems another day. And there's it's just a 3/8 scratch it square bit. That doesn't look as bad as the back, but the rear did. A little bit of crud on the just a little crud on it. It's definitely kind of clear. The back was not clear. All right, guys, well, it is 4:15, and that was a lot of work. If you don't have a hoist and some of the tools, it's a pain. So it just does take 20 minutes to switch out those. If you've got the nice bench vise, you could probably do the U-joints a little bit faster, but yeah, whatever. This is how we do it. But thanks for watching, guys. Those are a whole bunch of things on the front end of a Jeep that need to be fixed every now and then, and things that you should check on your own Jeep. U-joints, ball joints, the steering dampener, yeah, wheel bearings. Just throw the wheel bearings in there. You'll thank yourself later. So yeah, thanks, guys. Like, subscribe, hit the bell. Catch you on the next one.